What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How y'all doing, YouTubers? Today I'll be doing a 5-speed swap in the e46 2006 330 Ci. Just picked this X3 up a while back ago, not too long ago. It's the new daily. Just wanted to show you a little bit of something. It's my buddy's turboed M3 E36. But this is what we're going to be working on today. So I had to look got the ZF transmission, I believe. Half of the manual drive shaft, you only need the front. The back was ripped anyway, so I couldn't use it. Transmission jack, stage 2 clutch with a light flywheel. I think it's like 15 pounds. And all the goodies. It's heavy. Clutch is somewhere around here. Got some lower camber arms, and I will be changing the diff mounts out to the differential because they're all blown out. So once this comes on, camber kit comes on, diff comes back on, and that basically be that. So the goal today is to pull the automatic transmission off and put the clutch in, get the new transmission on, and get all that bolted up, and I can get the drive shaft ready. I actually cut my exhaust off for whatever reason, but basically this is what I'm going to be using. And then I got headers coming in as well, and once I get the headers in, I'll basically be taking them a muffler shop and have them modify this. This is actually out of a M3 E46, so I got an X pipe for that, which should be cut there, X pipe, and I got 2 resonators that are going to go in front of this, and then from there to be a custom piece to the aftermarket headers at the exhaust shop, and the back should be possibly cut, and then put a small piece with some V-band clamps, which I also bought. So this is not going to be a how-to video. I'm kind of on a time crunch and I want to get things done, but there are a lot of videos on the cars how to 5-speed swap them. If you want to learn how to swap, I'll kind of be going fast through it. I do have the pedals on already, as you can see. So we're gonna start with the transmission, and everything else come after. But I need to get that on there, get the car off the ground, 4 points, as high as I can. I also ended up buying these. I think these came off the E39. I believe they're style 66 wheels, 17x8 in the front, plus 20 offset, 17x9 in the back, plus 26 offset. So the back tires stretch a little bit, which is perfect because it used to rub with my old wheels. So but yeah, I like them. Got them for a steal, so couldn't turn it down. But let me get on this, and we'll do. So this is where we're at right now. Got the exhaust off. 4 bolts. The bolts in the middle that hold literally that stock exhaust. I got new bushings for that, so that hopefully they line right up, and we'll put the plate on that, and if it does line up with the M3 one. If not, we'll just we'll figure it out. But new transmission does have the new yoke. I think that's what you call it. You see this one's all cracked. I thought this was good, but if you look at it like up close, you can see where that crease is up here. So yeah, that's bad. I have a new one of those, and then just gotta unbolt this, take the drive shaft off next. And so yeah, I'm gonna get the diff off, correction, drive shaft. We're not even gonna worry about the diff today. I'm probably gonna run out of time. All right, so we got some progress. Exhaust off, the shield comes off, a couple 10 mil bolts. This was kind of a pain in the ass to get off. You take the 3 bolts off that, triangle part. 13's right here, and this was actually seized up. You see where it's kind of, yeah. Once that is done, starter is out. I think after that it's just the bolts for the torque converter, and then after that that's it. It's ready to pull out. Top 2 bolts are probably going to be a pain in the ass. I bought some really long extensions for that, but everything else should be really easy peasy to get to. So yeah, let's keep on going. So transmission is off. It was a pain in the ass. That top right bolt that's up there, I don't know if you can see it or not. That one was a bitch. Had to get the right sockets and wobble sockets. This top one was pretty easy with a long one, and those 2 starter bolts were pretty easy with a long one with a wobble. So I'm about to shoot that off. I gotta jack the car up a little bit more and slide this out of here and start putting the clutch on. So I'm calling it a night. Transmission, like I said, came off earlier. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but it wasn't too bad. My rear main seal is leaking. I didn't get to order it yet, or just go in the store and buy it. So I want to change it because it's just leaking pretty bad. So before I put the clutch on, I have to come to a steady point and stop on that for now. I did manage to undo a few of the header bolts because I am putting headers on while I'm doing this. And I ended up taking off the diff because I'm putting new diff mount bushings as well. Got it all off. Wasn't too bad. Break the axles bolts loose. Once you get that, you can undo your sway bar. I find it easier, more easier if you do take it off. And after that, shoot your 3 bolts, and I put a jack with a piece of block and let it come down, and then just kind of carried it down. Tomorrow, rear main seal, put the clutch on, start getting that bolted up. Still waiting on some shifter stuff, so I can basically put the transmission on and bolt it up with the bracket, but I'll still have to undo the bracket and so yeah, we'll get that done tomorrow and hopefully get it done and then start working on the wiring. So it's been a pain in the ass. I don't think none of these bolts have ever been touched. I even deleted the spare wheel well. Need to get it welded. So I got a lot of room down here, but once we get that done, hopefully tomorrow we start working on the wiring. And so here we are, day 2. I'm back over here. It's actually a little colder today than it was yesterday, but I did get the transmission out like y'all saw. So new one is on. Here's the old one. As you can see, the lip of it where the oil is seeping out, and it's like that basically all around. The new one's on there. Alright, rear main seal is on. That was kind of a bitch. The light flywheel is on. I have thread lock. Have it on there just to support it for now. I'm gonna get all these down, torque to spec. Alright guys, so transmission is on. I'm gonna go down in the car and show you what I did. Next step, we're gonna go ahead and put on the transmission bracket. I bought these new recently, and these were on the kit that was in the car, but this makes your whole car vibrate real bad, so I preferably like stick to the stocks. But let's get into here. What we got to do next. So you see the transmission is on. I literally got all the bolts under here tightened, other than the, I believe 2 in the top, 2 for the starter and 1 more on the top right, I believe. I'm just gonna bolt it up for tonight. I ran out of time, just so it doesn't sag and wear out the motor mounts, even though they're gonna get changed out anyways. Yeah, so the shifter on, and once I get the shifter on, before I do the drive shaft, which I have to take apart and put together, I'll do the diff first, then I'll be able to slap everything back in. Then we can move on to taking off the headers. So it's kind of a bunch of things we're doing all at once, so it is going to be take a minute. So it's taking me a few days, and the days I have to work on it. So yeah, let's get this bracket on, call it a night. I do want to say one thing. I did put this transmission in myself. I took the automatic one out by myself. The automatic's pretty easy once it comes out. Had to throw it off the transmission jack. It really helps if you have a transmission jack. You can basically do this by yourself. It's not that easy, but it's easy enough where you could do it. But I ended up getting a jack and put it, I believe I put it on the AC pump, and I jacked it up, and as I jacked it up, the motor tilted back down and pointed down towards me. Because what happens is when you pull the motor off, or the transmission off, it kind of tilts back straight because the motor mounts are holding it straight. So in order to get the transmission on there, you have to jack up the motor just a little bit and tilt it back down. And that way, once I got it up there, I kind of pushed up and then used my hand and forced it in, and it kind of fell in place. And it was still about a half an inch away, and I kind of would just sit here and wiggled it, and it just fell in place. So we're back. It's actually been like a whole week. I was actually sick, and it did happen to snow over here where I'm at. But the transmission is in. Got some more parts in. Headers coming in today, which I'll probably be installing tomorrow. But let's get back where we're at. I'm gonna start on the diff, knock out all the mounts, and start installing the new ones. Let me get these out, and we can install the new ones, and then install the camber kit arms, and then get the diff back on, and that'll be a big part of the project done. Alright, so my first attempt didn't work. I actually got a socket and put it over kind of just around it. You can see where it's actually gone in a little bit. You can see that little lip, but it's not really much. It's really a pain in the ass trying to hammer it. I have a small little sledgehammer. So we're gonna go with plan B, because that's just gonna take way too long. You see I got a drill bit, pretty decent size. I want to say it's 3/8, and I'm gonna drill through the rubber, and then I'm gonna slide a sawzall in there and just slice. We really wouldn't need just 2 cuts, kind of anywhere. Start drilling. And just keep hitting, get a couple more under it, so I can slide a blade in there. So let me put the phone down and we'll come back. Alright, I just wanted to show real quick, after a couple of drills, the center part just basically fell out, knocked it out. And I know I said I would cut one on one side and one on the other side, but if you really think about it, if you notch the one side, then come down, I don't know, an inch, whatever, half an inch, cut the other side off, it allows it to, when you do hit it or whatever, it allows it to compress. So all I did was get a flat head and got between right there, and that kind of flexed down, and I bent it. As you can see, there's still an opening, and then when I try to hit the other side, it just literally it's just gonna come out. So it's actually stuck on the screw on the other side. Put the screws back on. But yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. So same thing on the other side. It actually came out fairly faster than I thought it would. Alright, as you can see, I kind of sliced, once I drilled basically all around it, I sliced here and here, and got a screwdriver, pried it. You can hear it break loose, and after that, just like that. Just make sure to grease it up. These did come with grease. Let me get out from under the car. Hey, Nico. So this is the fun part about working on jack stands. I am using Powerflex Black Series. polyurethane bushings. So this is really, it's not super stiff and it's not soft. Medium soft. It's probably like in the middle, maybe a little more than in the middle. But heard a lot of good things about this brand. Saw a lot of videos, and I really feel like I like the product, and had a bunch of friends recommend me this part, so I would recommend it too, and hopefully it turns out to be good. So have them all on, pretty much just pop right in. First camber arm is out. It's kind of a bitch, man. You gotta make sure the wheel's off for sure. When you shoot that bolt, it has like this little support washer, so you'll have to like guide it back in there in the back. Once you do get this bolt off, kind of have to pry that. I'm using my knee. You see that pushes away, and you only have a little bit of room. What I did find helpful was that, see, that's how like it's pressed all the way over here. I got this, my screwdriver, and I got behind it and actually pushed. Now you see my screwdriver, I pushed and it popped out. Once it popped out, kind of wiggled that out, pressed up on this, pushed towards the outside, pulled that down, and plink, it just kind of came off. I was kind of fighting it for a bit, but once I figured that out, it was good. So this new one should be fairly easy. I'm gonna measure it the same as that. You can tell the difference. I mean, look how flimsy this is, man. It's just thin metal, and this is pretty heavy. It's pretty solid, just steel. So yeah, let me get the right measurements and bolt all that back up. All right, camber arms are on, bushings are on, differential is on the transmission jack. I was going to use my regular jack over there, but when it kind of came off with it, once I came out, it just kind of fell off. So this is tied up. I'm gonna try to squeeze it in there and then jack it up, and hopefully it's easy peasy. Just kind of just slide it in like that. It is nose heavy, so gotta kind of be careful, but I would strongly recommend camber arms if you are taking off your diff to do diff mounts. You still need a good alignment after, but yeah, let's get this sucker on. All right, so everything got installed. Yeah, sway bars on, axles are on, camber arms are on, so got to get an alignment. So once I got that figured out, everything else got put back together. So this is all manual differential. All I did was change the head because that head was broken. Ended up working out very well. New bearing, but no play at all. Tightened all that up. One thing I think I got left to, oh shit, take off these lines. Just a couple squeezes on these plastic clips, should pop right out. Put a rag so it doesn't drain on the floor. And yeah, headers should be coming in tomorrow. That'll be working down that next. But last thing is the wiring, so I'm gonna get up under the dashboard and get that all done. I do have the headers just came in, so I want to actually start working on that, taking the stock headers off, and I'll show you those here in a little bit. And we'll explain that here in a little bit. So yeah, let me get this wired up, and hopefully let's hear this thing start, and we'll be good. All right guys, after a bunch of headache, did manage to get it all wired up. Your most important wire, for what I've seen on videos, is this number 8 pin. Actually, I had a pigtail from the manual car. I pinned it, and this goes to your, so your blue black is what goes to that. Your blue brown is what goes up into the ECM, and that's really just for your cruise control. So if you don't want it or don't need it, you technically don't have to run that. One is ground, one is power, and runs to your brake switch. But yeah, said that number 8 pin is really your most important wire. And I don't have the slave cylinder in yet because I still have to bleed it. So the car's not gonna actually do anything. Clutch is down. Look, I move. I charged the battery, so it should be good. Yeah, there we have it. Headers on right now, no exhaust, and yeah, it's pretty stupid loud. Alright, so next, and then we're gonna work on putting the headers on next. Alright, these are the headers that go towards the bank 2. Got the sensor on, stock ones are out. They were a pain in the ass. I got a lot of bolts from the top and the rest of them from the bottom. I do watch the DNA header video that is on YouTube. I think by DNA, the company, and it's a really good video. You do gotta, once you get ready to the bottom, you can jack it up. I got a long piece of plywood and put it under the crank and the AC, and jack it up. Take your motor mount off and get the rest of the bolts out. So gonna put the back one on first, bolt it up so we can have room, and then we bolt the front one up where we got more room. And yeah, shouldn't be too bad putting them back on. Let's get these suckers on. Headers are on. Let me tell you, they were a pain in the ass. Let me get under the car and show you. So like I mentioned, I think this is like a 2nd generation of eBay headers that are coming out. There was one bolt on that first runner to the right where it was so tight that you couldn't get a nut on it, so it's the only one. Hopefully it doesn't leak. But let me get on the car and show you some other things. This is gonna be basically my exhaust setup. This is a mid pipe to an M3 stock exhaust. I was gonna go M3 with stock muffler, but decided it was just gonna come out way too expensive. Still have to get the bumper and paint the bumper and all that. But I have a Borla exhaust. We're about to head out to the muffler shop. The car is finally done, but it's a Borla 2 in 2 out. And then I got my mid pipe, and I'm also gonna get them to custom fit this X pipe onto that. We're gonna slap 2 resonators on the front, and it should sound really good. And this is the stock one, super heavy. It's probably like 50 pounds, maybe 60 pounds, probably, and not including the rest of it that I cut off, which is probably another 40 pounds. So this is at least a good 100 pounds off the car. And think this probably weighs like 10 pounds, 12 pounds maybe. So the goal is to get them to basically start from the headers, have them snake me, and then we're gonna hit the resonators, X pipe, mid pipe to the Borla exhaust back there. You can see the headers. I did have to chop that little piece, that red mark you see on the transmission. I did have to cut that little ear off because it was leaning against the headers. I guess I could have dented the headers in, but I felt like that was a lot cleaner thing to do. And like I mentioned earlier, these only came with one O2 bong on each side. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to delete the secondary. You see in there, it's a really tight fit. This cylinders 4, 5, and 6. This back header has to come on first, and you can get them from the bottom and the top. And then the top one, the 1, 2, and 3, I think one can be done from the bottom and the rest can be done from the top, basically, with the right tools. And ended up putting in a new motor mount. My other one was blown, trashed. So yeah, so let's get this car down and get it ready to take to the muffler shop. So things been kicking my ass, but it's cool. Take it slow, take it easy. Don't plan on finishing day one, because there's always going to be something that pops. We at JR Mufflers right now, getting it tacked up. I'm about to work their magic, so hopefully sounds really good. Got the resonators right there on the ground, so we'll just have to wait till it's done. Boiler exhaust, and then M3 mid pipe. Been working on the X pipe resonator, and then we're gonna connect to the headers. So come on. Should sound really good. For what I've researched, X pipe sounds really good. And the M3 mid pipe is a little bit bigger than the factory. And then just finishing it off with the boiler exhaust. So pretty confident it's going to sound really good. It's going to have a nice tone to it. Resonator is going to quiet it down, but I think it's still going to have a nice little rumble. So we'll see.